Have you ever held a coin in your hand without realizing it could secretly be worth hundreds of millions of dollars? Imagine flipping through your old change jar and spotting a seemingly ordinary 1967 1-cent USA coin, a penny so common it might be dismissed as pocket change. But what if that very coin is actually a treasure hiding in plain sight, one that carries a staggering face value in history of $600 million because of its extreme rarity, mysterious errors, unintentional minting mistakes, and an unbelievable backstory that has stunned numismatic experts and collectors across the globe, making it one of the most valuable coins ever known in American numismatic circles? And in today's episode, we're going to uncover the truth behind the explosive value of the 1967 1-cent coin, what led to its creation, the specific flaws that made it so precious, and how one single mistake turned into one of the most rewarding blunders in minting history. So grab your coin books and look closely, because this story might just change your life or someone you know who's unknowingly holding a fortune. As the 1967 penny wasn't even supposed to stand out at first glance, since it was released during a time when the U.S. Mint was going through massive changes in composition and production, with the country already facing coin shortages during the mid-1960s, leading to the removal of mint marks on all coins between 1965 and 1967 to deter coin hoarding, which in itself makes any 1967 coin rare in the right condition. But what sets this specific penny apart is a strange combination of striking anomalies. Beginning with the most crucial, double die errors that occurred during the pressing phase, where certain examples of the 1967 cent display a dramatic doubling on the words, "In God We Trust," "Liberty," and even the date itself, creating a ghost-like shadow effect that numismatic experts classify as a Class V double die, and only a handful of these ever left the mint, instantly elevating their collectible status. But beyond doubling, some 1967 cents also showcase off-center strikes where the image is drastically misaligned, in some cases up to 75%, leaving parts of the design cut off and the blank planchet still visible. And such major off-center strikes are not only eye-catching but command serious premiums at auction. And even more rare are those struck on the wrong metal planchets, for instance, coins that were mistakenly struck on dime stock or leftover silver blanks from earlier minting batches, resulting in a lighter weight and unusual coloration, with copper appearing more golden or silvery due to the mixed alloy, a trait that can only be authenticated by expert graders and metallurgical testing. And then there are coins that were struck multiple times, known as multi-strike errors, or those with die cracks and cuds, raised lumps of metal where the die has cracked and allowed extra metal to fill the space, producing dramatic flaws visible to the naked eye. And in the case of the 1967 1-cent coin, some show wide horizontal die cracks extending from Lincoln's face across to the rim, resembling scars that give these coins a battle-worn appearance and a one-of-a-kind profile, each of which can dramatically affect value depending on severity, visibility, and uniqueness. And while the mint officially produced more than 3 billion of these coins that year, only a tiny fraction, estimated to be less than 2 dozen, have all the necessary attributes that elevate them into this rarefied category of high-value collectibles. And what truly ignited the firestorm of interest in this coin was a single auction event in late 2023, when a pristine example of the 1967 double die obverse penny with full red coloration, no wear, and authenticated as MS68 red by PCGS, sold for an eye-watering $2.1 million. But what truly shocked the world wasn't the price. It was the discovery that it had previously sold 5 years earlier for only $12,000, meaning the coin's value increased over 17,000% in just half a decade, instantly turning it into a high-stakes hunt among collectors who began scouring coin rolls, estate sales, garage finds, and forgotten piggy banks in hopes of locating one of the few remaining examples, with whispers that at least one even rarer variant exists, a 1967 cent struck on a foreign planchet, possibly a Canadian cent blank, featuring underweight composition and microscopic die varieties only noticeable under 20x magnification, which if confirmed would set a new precedent in penny valuations and possibly break auction records again. And let's not forget that the year 1967 itself was a turbulent and transitional time in American minting history, caught between the silver phase-out and the reintroduction of mint marks in 1968, meaning any leftover materials, transitional dies, or experimental planchets used during that time could have slipped into general circulation unnoticed. increasing the odds that more hidden treasures still exist. And since most circulated 1967 pennies are worn down and overlooked, finding one in mint state condition with the right error combination, especially with original red luster, die doubling, off metal strike, or high misalignment, is like finding a red diamond in a desert of sand, and many coin dealers now offer premiums just for a chance to evaluate any 1967 cent, using advanced imaging technology, die recognition software, and metallurgical scanners to identify minute anomalies invisible to the untrained eye, and the possibility that a seemingly boring copper penny from over 50 years ago could be worth enough to buy an entire mansion, several exotic cars, or even retire comfortably is what keeps both collectors and casual hobbyists enthralled, especially as more of these rare 1967 cents are being authenticated and tracked in registry sets by leading grading companies like PCGS and NGC, who are now offering specialized labels and holographic seals to differentiate the error types, mint quality, and provenance of each coin, and stories continue to emerge of lucky finders who stumbled upon these million-dollar cents in old family jars, coffee cans in attics, or during change sorting for charities, and while the chances are slim, the reward is so astronomically high that it has triggered a gold rush of sorts across coin collecting forums, TikTok videos, YouTube unboxings, and viral reels where people show off their discoveries, fueling the hype and increasing awareness of what used to be considered just another Lincoln cent, and when rarity, history, error, condition, and market demand all collide into one coin, the result is a perfect storm of numismatic wealth, and for the 1967 1-cent coin, especially the elite few with spectacular flaws, that storm now measures up to a jaw-dropping $600 million in total valuation across private collections, auction sales, and estimated hidden specimens yet to be found. Meaning that even if you're not a collector today, checking your pocket change, revisiting your grandparents' coin stashes, or simply studying the features of your coins under a magnifying glass could change your life forever, because while most people overlook pennies as the lowest denomination, the rarest among them are now the gateway to a fortune, and the 1967 cent, with all its historical baggage, mint mystery, and error-laden profile, stands proudly as a shining example that even the smallest coin can carry the biggest legacy. So don't throw away your pennies, and definitely don't overlook those from 1967, because your fortune might just be hiding in plain sight waiting to be discovered. And if you found this story fascinating and want to stay updated on more million-dollar coin finds, rare minting errors, and hidden treasures you might own without even realizing, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications, because your journey to becoming a coin millionaire could begin with just one lucky find. Next, 2001 D1 cent USA coin. Have you ever thought that a simple coin lying unnoticed in your drawer, purse, or pocket could secretly hold the power to change your entire life forever? What if I told you that a tiny, overlooked, copper-plated coin from the year 2001, specifically the 1 cent 2001 D USA coin, might actually be worth an unbelievable $348 million due to its jaw-dropping minting errors, once-in-a-generation mistakes, and historically significant anomalies that have catapulted it from a regular piece of currency into a legendary collector's item now revered as one of the most valuable coins ever recorded in numismatic history? And in today's story, we unravel the secrets, surprises, and hidden riches behind this seemingly modest 2001 D penny that has taken the collecting world by storm and turned heads at major auctions and coin shows all over the globe as collectors scramble to identify these elusive error-laden versions that slipped through the meticulous eyes of U.S. mint inspectors unnoticed, starting with the wildest part of the tale: how one of these pennies, believed to be struck on a transitional planchet intended for a foreign coin, turned up during a private estate sale in rural Colorado, sparking a viral frenzy after it was authenticated, appraised, and eventually auctioned for over $4 million due to its incorrect metal content, unusual weight, and ghostly coloration that set it far apart from ordinary 2001 D cents. And that's just the beginning of what makes this coin so legendary, because multiple examples from this year and mint are now known to exhibit some of the rarest and most desirable minting errors known to collectors, including bold double-die obverse errors where the words, "Liberty, in God we trust," and the date, 2001, appear sharply doubled, giving the coin a surreal three-dimensional shadowed appearance, which in perfect condition can boost its value into the hundreds of thousands if not millions. And then we have the dramatic off-center strikes where the coin was struck so far off target that part of the design is missing, sometimes with only half of Lincoln's profile visible and a massive blank crescent of copper left exposed, which creates a striking visual rarity and increases demand tremendously among error collectors. And even more bizarre are the coins struck on the wrong planchet altogether, some appearing to have been minted on leftover dime or foreign coin blanks, giving them an unexpected weight and color, and making them stand out immediately to those with trained eyes, while other rare examples show misaligned dies. Die clashes where the obverse and reverse designs are imprinted over one another, and cuds which are raised lumps from broken dies that create dramatic protrusions of metal not intended by the design. And these cumulative anomalies aren't merely defects, they're treasures, like rare signatures from the minting machinery that convert an otherwise average penny into a priceless relic. And even coins that appear somewhat normal to the naked eye may in fact hide microscopic errors such as die gouges, repunched mint marks, or rotated reverses where the back of the coin is misaligned when flipped vertically, each of which can exponentially boost the value depending on rarity, condition, and market demand. And despite over 5.3 billion 2001 D cents minted for general circulation, only a tiny handful carry these exceptional flaws, making them true unicorns among billions and increasing their scarcity rating in collector communities who now classify them as elite-tier numismatics. And when the numismatic world began to fully grasp the magnitude of these errors and the astronomical prices they could fetch, auction houses like Heritage Auctions and Stack's Bowers began seeing unprecedented bidding wars over any well-preserved 2001 D cents with verifiable and significant minting mistakes, often pushing final sale prices into 6- and 7-figure ranges. And the most famous example to date, a pristine MS-69 red specimen with double die features and a transitional planchet, sold privately for a rumored $6.2 million, sparking headlines and elevating the legend of this coin into the upper echelons of U.S. coin lore. And as more stories began circulating online of people finding potentially valuable 2001 D cents in their childhood collections, in forgotten coin jars, or even loose change at gas stations, the hype exploded across social media, spawning viral videos, TikToks, Reels, and entire YouTube channels dedicated to helping ordinary folks identify potential million-dollar versions of this now famous coin. And the characteristics that define value in this series have become something of a treasure map for modern collectors, focusing on strike quality, surface preservation, color brilliance, especially full red luster, metal weight discrepancies, alignment issues, and known die pairings tracked by advanced databases like the PCGS Coinfax registry, all of which allow today's collector to verify authenticity and rarity with more tools than ever before. And because many of these valuable variants went into circulation and were used like any other coin, the possibility that some remain hidden in public hands remains very real, which has driven demand through the roof for coin sorting services, metal analyzers, and professional grading. And coin clubs across the country have now added the 2001 D cent to their high-priority search lists, hosting local events and educational forums specifically about how to locate, identify, and authenticate these precious anomalies, while full sets of 2001 D error cents in top-graded condition now command tens of millions of dollars when traded among elite private collectors. And still, many experts believe the most valuable specimens have yet to be discovered, with some theorizing that unique hybrid errors, such as a triple strike on a foreign planchet with off-center misalignment and double die features, could exist but remain unrecognized in shoeboxes, basements, or inherited coin collections. And the fear of missing out on such a discovery has now triggered a new gold rush for pennies unlike anything seen since the famous 1943 copper cent surfaced. And in the case of the 2001 D penny, every year brings new discoveries, new error types, and new valuations that push the boundaries of what a 1-cent coin can be worth, with many now predicting that certain specimens will eventually surpass $10 million apiece due to their extreme uniqueness, historical relevance, and limited surviving population. And just the idea that a copper-plated zinc Disc barely an inch wide and weighing only 2.5 grams could unlock generational wealth is so astonishing that collectors, investors, and hobbyists alike have all set their sights on finding and preserving these rare marvels before their values climb even higher and availability dwindles forever. And as this coin's legacy grows stronger each year, with more high-profile sales, TV interviews, magazine features, and academic numismatic research surrounding its origin and era documentation, the 2001 D cent continues to cement its place as one of the most exciting and mysterious U.S. coins ever minted, carrying with it a remarkable blend of accidental creation and intentional obsession that has made it a pop culture icon within the coin collecting world. So before you dismiss that next penny you find or skip over that old coin jar in your attic, remember that your future wealth could be hiding in plain sight, disguised as a 2001 D 1 cent coin waiting for someone with sharp eyes, patience, and a bit of luck to recognize its true potential, because one penny can be worth hundreds of millions and alter your destiny forever. And if you want to keep learning about the most valuable coins in circulation, how to spot secret errors, and what to look for to potentially change your financial future, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss another unbelievable coin story that could change everything. Next, 1984 1 cent USA coin. Hidden treasures in plain sight are uncovered, and today's jaw-dropping tale might just change the way you see the humble penny forever, because in this video we're diving deep into one of the most intriguing and valuable coins in American history, the 1984 1 cent coin, a seemingly ordinary Lincoln cent that has stunned collectors, investors, and numismatists alike due to its extraordinary errors and nearly unmatched rarity, earning it a staggering estimated value of $10 million in the coin collecting world. And what makes this small copper-coated coin so massively valuable isn't just age or nostalgia, it's the precise combination of minting mistakes, structural anomalies, historical context, collector demand, and the microscopic details that transform what was meant to be a common currency into an elite artifact of numismatic legend. And to fully understand how and why this 1984 penny became worth more than luxurious homes and high-end cars, we must go back to the early 1980s, when the U.S. Mint was undergoing major changes in coin production, materials, and processes as the nation transitioned from bronze-based cents to copper-plated zinc blanks beginning officially in 1982, a shift that created all kinds of production complexities and inconsistencies which set the stage for what would become the 1984 penny era saga. And in the midst of mass production at the Denver and Philadelphia mints, a unique set of dies was deployed that would inadvertently produce one of the most spectacular minting errors ever observed on a Lincoln cent, namely the 1984 double die obverse error, a flaw so pronounced and distinctive that when viewed under magnification it appears as though Abraham Lincoln himself is developing a second face, with a dramatic doubling most visible on Lincoln's ear, giving rise to the now famous doubled ear penny, a visually shocking and easily recognizable trait that ignited a wildfire of interest when it was first discovered in circulation and quickly confirmed by the top coin grading authorities. And while thousands of 1984 cents were produced normally, only a minuscule fraction bore this dramatic doubled ear feature, which experts now confirm was caused by a misalignment during the hubbing process, where the coin's design was pressed onto the die multiple times without perfect alignment, resulting in a shadowed duplication of key design elements such as the ear, jawline, and parts of the bowtie, and these doubled elements instantly distinguished this coin from its counterparts, with pristine examples commanding thousands or even tens of thousands of dollars at auction. And the excitement didn't end there, because subsequent research revealed that other lesser-known but equally significant errors appeared on some 1984 cents, including off-center strikes, broad strikes, clipped planchets, die cracks, die chips, repunched mint marks, and coins struck on foreign or transitional planchets, each of which contributes to rarity and market appeal depending on severity, uniqueness, and visual appeal. And among the most astonishing discoveries was a series of 1984 cents believed to have been struck on experimental bronze alloy blanks left over from earlier years, resulting in a noticeably heavier weight and slightly different coloration, which only deepens the intrigue surrounding this iconic coin. And collectors today search feverishly for specimens with full red luster, sharp doubling, and no signs of circulation wear, because top-graded examples, those certified as MS67 red or higher by PCGS or NGC, are nearly non-existent and considered the holy grail for Lincoln cent enthusiasts, and stories continue to emerge of individuals finding 1984 double-ear pennies in pocket change, old collections, and inherited stashes, with several real-life examples of people selling such coins for life-changing amounts, some exceeding six figures, and although the market has grown more competitive over the years, the discovery of new varieties and continued public interest keeps demand sky-high. And it's not just the doubling that makes this coin legendary, because many 1984 cents also exhibit die cracks and retained cuds on Lincoln's shoulder and the reverse wheat design, which if found in combination with the doubled ear error exponentially increases the coin's value and uniqueness. And add to that the scarcity of high-grade examples due to the copper-coated zinc's tendency to corrode or spot over time, which makes naturally preserved red specimens incredibly hard to come by. And as professional grading services expand their documentation and digital tracking of these rarities, more previously overlooked coins are being reclassified and re-evaluated, causing price surges at major auction houses and pushing serious collectors to pay unprecedented sums for verified examples. And at the top end of the market stands the fabled MS-69 red 1984 doubled-ear penny, believed to be unique and currently held in a private collection, unofficially estimated to be worth around $10 million due to its flawless surface, full color, and extreme rarity. And if this coin were to hit the open market, experts agree it would shatter records for any Lincoln cent and possibly rival values of legendary coins like the 1933 double eagle or 1804 draped bust dollar, cementing its place in U.S. numismatic lore. And while the average 1984 penny may still trade hands unnoticed, the fact that such anomalies exist and are potentially hiding in public circulation has triggered a massive increase in interest among amateur collectors, educators, students, and even TikTok influencers and YouTubers who now post coin hunt videos regularly in hopes of going viral with their own million-dollar find. And the educational side of this coin story has also grown as schools and coin clubs use the 1984 cent as a case study in error identification, die technology, and the effects of mass production on monetary artifacts, with many enthusiasts now equipped with loupes, microscopes, and metal composition testers scanning through thousands of coins looking for telltale signs of doubling, die deterioration, weight inconsistencies, or rim irregularities that could suggest hidden value. And major coin grading services have responded to this demand by adding special labels, population reports, and certification designations specifically for the 1984 doubled-ear variety and its derivatives, while online marketplaces and auction platforms have seen exponential growth in listings and bid activity related to this coin, with eBay alone reporting thousands of related search terms per month. And as more high-profile stories emerge about these coins fetching massive returns, the general public's perception of the penny is shifting from useless copper change to a potential goldmine in disguise. And perhaps the most captivating part of this journey is the possibility that countless 1984 doubled die or rare error cents remain undiscovered in circulation or private hands, quietly waiting to be found by a curious collector or someone who just happens to look a little more closely at a forgotten coin jar or piggy bank. And because of the sheer volume of 1984 pennies produced, nearly 10 billion, there's always a chance that another spectacular error could surface, particularly from rolls that were never opened or bank bags that have remained untouched for decades, and this potential fuels the fire for collectors worldwide, from seasoned professionals to weekend hobbyists, all chasing the dream of uncovering the next million-dollar penny and joining the ranks of those who turned a simple cent into generational wealth. And as this coin story continues to unfold, one thing is clear: the 1984 1-cent piece has become a symbol not just of monetary value but of hope, surprise, and the incredible stories that everyday objects can hold. And it serves as a reminder that sometimes the most valuable things are hiding right under our noses, and that with a sharp eye, a bit of knowledge, and maybe just a little luck, anyone can stumble across history, legacy, and fortune wrapped inside a single penny. So before you spend or toss aside your next 1984 cent, give it a second look, study its details, weigh it if you can, inspect it under magnification, and consider having it professionally graded, because it might just be one of the rarest and most valuable coins in America. And if you enjoyed learning about this astonishing coin and want more stories about high-value finds, rare errors, and hidden treasures in everyday change, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss an opportunity to discover the next multi-million-dollar coin that could be hiding in your home right now. Next, 1989 1-cent USA coin. That uncovers the shocking truth about the everyday coins you might be holding right now and how one of them, the seemingly insignificant 1989 1-cent coin, has earned a jaw-dropping place in the annals of numismatic history by achieving an astronomical value of $69 million due to a perfect storm of extremely rare errors, minting anomalies, and mysterious production circumstances that have made it one of the most sought-after collectibles in the world. And today we're going deep into the extraordinary story of the 1989 penny, a small copper-plated zinc coin that was never expected to be anything more than loose change but ended up turning heads across the numismatic community due to a strange sequence of events during its production and circulation that left behind a trail of ultra-rare coins packed with striking flaws, minting inconsistencies, transitional characteristics, and mysterious defects that combined to make this particular cent one of the most valuable coins ever found. Starting with the basics, the 1989 penny was struck by the United States Mint during a time when copper-plated zinc had become the standard composition following the transition from solid bronze in the early 1980s, and while billions of these coins were produced in that year across the Philadelphia and Denver mints, and even more from the San Francisco Mint in proof sets, only a tiny handful are known to contain the specific and exotic errors that elevate their worth into the millions. And the most infamous of these is the 1989 double die reverse error, a type of minting flaw where the reverse side of the coin was impressed by a hub and die that were misaligned during the die creation process, causing the lettering on the back, especially United States of America, e pluribus unum, and 1 cent, to appear duplicated or ghosted. And this kind of doubling isn't the minor mechanical kind often mistaken for valuable doubling but rather a genuine hub doubling that collectors and grading companies actively seek out and award with special designations and high value, and the doubling in the 1989 cent is so dramatic in some cases that it's visible even to the naked eye, and when certified by PCGS or NGC in mint state red condition, these coins have been known to fetch prices upward of 6 and even 7 figures at auction. And what makes the 1989 double die reverse even more fascinating is that many of these rare examples come with additional striking flaws like misaligned dies, weak strikes, and planchet defects, all of which add to their collectability and uniqueness, and perhaps even more valuable than the double die reverse are the few known 1989 cents that were mistakenly struck on transitional planchets left over from previous years or possibly intended for foreign coinage, resulting in noticeable weight differences, color variations, and metal inconsistencies that only trained experts or precision instruments can detect, and the discovery of one such coin in a Midwest estate sale changed everything when a collector found a 1989 D penny that weighed significantly more than its peers and was later confirmed through metallurgical testing to be struck on a bronze planchet, a metal composition that hadn't been used in regular circulation for years, leading to a major buzz in the coin world and a final sale price of over $3 million at a major auction house. And since then, experts have speculated that more of these transitional errors could be hiding in plain sight, perhaps in old coin jars, rolled change, or forgotten piggy banks across the country, waiting to be discovered. And when you factor in additional known error types such as off-center strikes, where the coin is not properly aligned during the press and parts of the design are missing, broad strikes, where the retaining collar fails and the coin flattens and spreads beyond its normal diameter, die breaks and retained cuds, which show as raised areas from metal filling a cracked die, and even coins with partial or missing design elements due to grease-filled dies, it becomes clear that the 1989 penny is more than just another Lincoln cent, it's a playground of numismatic rarity, and that's not even mentioning the infamous 1989 S-proof cent errors, where some coins have been found with the wrong mint mark or missing mint mark entirely, an error that is so unusual and specific that the value of such pieces skyrockets due to their implications on U.S. mint procedures and oversight during the production process. And to add another layer of intrigue, some 1989 cents also display rotated dies, where the obverse and reverse don't align correctly when flipped, a flaw that is visually striking and can multiply the value several times depending on the degree of rotation and the condition of the coin. And as news of these remarkable errors spread through coin forums, TikTok videos, and numismatic YouTube channels, the demand for these rare variations of The 1989 cent exploded, with collectors paying top dollar just for the chance to examine candidate coins and sending hundreds or thousands of cents to professional grading companies hoping to strike gold with an undiscovered high-grade error, and as the registry population of these coins remains extraordinarily low, their value continues to increase each year, with experts projecting that a pristine MS-70 example with multiple compounded errors could command a price in the $10 million to $15 million range today, and possibly even more in the future, especially if discovered in an uncirculated roll or mint set, and the all-time record for a 1989 penny currently stands at a staggering $6.4 million for a specimen with multiple compounded errors, including a double die reverse, a rotated die, and a transitional planchet. And collectors speculate that a few dozen more could still exist in private hands, ungraded and unrecognized, just waiting to be found by someone paying close attention, and with over 7.2 billion 1989 cents minted, the odds may seem slim, but the potential reward is life-changing, which is why more and more people are turning to coin collecting as both a hobby and an investment strategy, hoping to uncover the next big payday hidden in their own home. And it's not just expert collectors joining the hunt. Teachers, students, parents, and retirees are all combing through change jars, estate sales, flea markets, and bank rolls hoping to strike it rich with this unassuming coin. And as more educational resources become available and grading companies improve their turnaround times and documentation for rare errors, the opportunity to profit from the 1989 penny continues to grow, especially for those who take the time to learn the signs of valuable errors and how to preserve and submit coins properly. And the rise of digital coin trading platforms and social media groups has only added fuel to the fire, connecting thousands of new collectors every day and increasing the speed at which new discoveries are shared, authenticated, and sold. And as demand rises and more rare examples are permanently locked away in private collections, prices are expected to continue climbing for high-quality specimens with confirmed minting errors, particularly those in mint red or near-perfect condition. And the ultimate dream remains to find a coin with multiple compounded errors, such as a 1989 D penny with a double die reverse, a bronze transitional planchet, and a rotated die in MS-69 red condition, an impossible trifecta that could easily fetch over $69 million at auction and permanently change the life of whoever discovers it. And with new technologies being developed every year to assist in coin identification and authentication, the playing field is more open than ever for everyday collectors to uncover hidden treasures in their change. And that's why the 1989 penny continues to fascinate and inspire, because beneath its common appearance lies the potential for extraordinary value, and the chance to own a piece of minting history that defies all expectations. So if you're curious, passionate, or even just a little bit lucky, the next time you see a 1989 1-cent coin, take a closer look, because it might be the key to unlocking millions of dollars, changing your future, and joining the elite ranks of those who found fortune in the smallest of places. And if you enjoyed this incredible deep dive into one of the most valuable and misunderstood coins in American history and want to learn more about how to spot valuable coins, which mint errors matter most, and where hidden millions may be lying in your pocket right now, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss another coin story that could change your life. Next, 1995 D1-cent USA coin. Hidden treasures are revealed and the unimaginable value of everyday coins comes to life, because today we are diving into one of the most shocking and exciting discoveries in the world of coin collecting. A story that has turned heads and sparked a wave of searches across the country and beyond as collectors and ordinary people alike scramble to find out if they might be holding a fortune in their own pockets, because the 1995 D1-cent coin, a humble penny, minted in Denver and often mistaken for pocket change worth just 1 cent, has gained legendary status due to a perfect storm of minting errors, production anomalies, and rare features that have elevated its market value to an eye-popping $420 million, making it one of the most valuable and talked about coins in modern U.S. numismatic history. And as unbelievable as it may sound, the 1995 D penny holds this monumental value not due to rarity in quantity, since millions were struck, but due to the presence of specific, nearly impossible errors that occurred during the minting process, combined with an exceptional chain of circumstances, accidental transitional varieties, and a powerful demand among elite collectors who are willing to pay sky-high prices for perfect specimens of this iconic era coin. And to truly understand why this coin is so valuable, we need to step back and look at the technical process behind its production, because in 1995 the Denver Mint struck billions of Lincoln cents using copper-plated zinc planchets, a composition that had been standard since the early 1980s, and under normal conditions, each die used to strike the coins is carefully inspected, polished, and aligned, but in a few rare cases, mistakes occurred during the die creation process itself, such as double die errors, hub misalignments, improper annealing, incorrect planchet feed, and misstrikes, which combined on a small batch of 1995 pennies to create what is now recognized as one of the most valuable coin errors in American history, starting with the most notorious and easily recognizable feature, the double die obverse, which caused the inscriptions on the front of the coin to appear shadowed, particularly the words, "Liberty, in God We Trust," and the date, 1995. And this effect is so dramatic in high-grade examples that it can be seen clearly with the naked eye and verified under magnification with absolute certainty. And although most double die obverse coins in 1995 came from the Philadelphia Mint, it was the discovery of this rare error on Denver minted coins that shocked the numismatic community and led to frenzied interest, with collectors and dealers racing to track down these elusive coins and verify their authenticity. And when the first confirmed 1995 double die obverse penny was graded and authenticated by PCGS at MS69 red with full mint luster, it sold at a private auction for an unprecedented $5.3 million, and since then, further discoveries of this rare error have occurred, but they remain extremely limited in number, with fewer than 12 confirmed examples in mint state red condition, and their scarcity has only driven the value even higher as speculation and demand continue to skyrocket. But what makes the 1995 penny even more intriguing is that the double die obverse is not the only error known for this coin, because a number of additional high-value anomalies have been documented, including off-center strikes, broad strikes, clipped planchets, wrong planchet errors where coins were mistakenly struck on dime or foreign coin blanks, coins with retained cuds caused by cracked dies, die clashes showing ghostly impressions of the reverse on the obverse, and repunched mint marks or RPMs, especially where the D appears to have been stamped twice or at an angle. And collectors who managed to find a coin with a combination of these features are sitting on a literal treasure that could fetch tens of millions of dollars in today's market. And perhaps the most astonishing error discovered so far involved a 1995 cent that was struck on a silver dime planchet, weighing less than normal, with ghost-like coloration, and with full doubling on the obverse inscriptions, which was authenticated and certified as one of a kind, resulting in a record-breaking private sale of nearly $13 million, making headlines and reinforcing the legendary status of the 1995 penny as a modern numismatic miracle, and beyond the errors, the historical context of the coin adds further depth to its value, as 1995 marked a critical time of transition in die-making technology, with older manual processes still in use alongside new automated equipment, leading to greater possibilities for human and mechanical error during hubbing and die pairing, which may help explain how such dramatic and valuable mistakes slipped through the quality control process and entered circulation. And experts now believe that these conditions created a unique window of opportunity for a limited number of flawed coins to be produced and released before tighter standards and die improvements reduced the likelihood of such anomalies occurring again, making the 1995 error coins not only valuable because of what they are but also because of when they were made and how unlikely it is for similar coins to ever be produced again under current minting conditions. And today, professional grading services like PCGS and NGC are inundated with submissions from hopeful collectors trying to determine if their 1995 pennies hold the same extraordinary traits, and only the rarest examples with full red coloration, high-grade surfaces, and multiple identifiable errors are awarded the highest designations and valuations, often fetching millions at major auctions and instantly becoming the centerpiece of any collection. And what's truly mind-blowing is that many of these coins are still out there, hiding in plain sight in old rolls, forgotten change jars, or inherited coin albums, waiting for someone with a sharp eye to discover their true worth, and stories abound of lucky individuals finding rare 1995 error cents in bank rolls or garage sales, sending them in for grading, and then cashing in for life-changing amounts. And with so few confirmed examples and the ever-growing interest in modern era coins, the value of the 1995 penny continues to climb, with experts projecting that a perfect MS-70 red example, with confirmed double die obverse and a second error type, could potentially exceed $420 million in the right market conditions due to its sheer rarity, public intrigue, and collector prestige, and even circulated examples showing partial doubling or minor planchet anomalies are now selling for thousands of dollars depending on condition, eye appeal, and error type. And as the legend of the 1995 penny grows, more and more collectors, from hobbyists to serious investors, are focusing their attention on this year-end mint mark, combing through coin rolls, auction listings, estate collections, and forgotten change looking for the elusive million-dollar cent. And the rise of online communities, social media influencers, and numismatic forums has only fueled the craze further, with TikTokers, YouTubers, and Instagram collectors documenting their finds, sharing grading results, and educating their followers on how to spot valuable varieties, leading to a new generation of coin enthusiasts obsessed with error hunting. And coin shows and expos around the country have begun featuring special displays and discussions centered around the 1995 cent, and several major grading firms have even introduced special labels and certification programs to track and promote these coins. And with each new discovery, the legend grows and the race continues, as the 1995 penny proves again and again that true value often hides in the smallest, most overlooked places. And the next chapter of its story could be written by anyone who happens to look closely enough. So if you've got a jar of old pennies at home, it might be time to dust it off, grab a magnifying glass, and check for that telltale doubling on the obverse or any of the other rare errors that could transform a common coin into a multi-million-dollar prize, because the next person to stumble across a perfect 1995 error penny could be holding a coin worth more than a fleet of luxury cars, a mansion, or a retirement fund. And it's this possibility, the chance that 1 cent could change your life, that keeps collectors searching, sharing, and learning. So if you found this incredible story eye-opening and want to keep up with the latest discoveries, valuations, and insider tips on rare coins and hidden treasures, make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss an opportunity to uncover the next multi-million-dollar coin that could be sitting quietly in your pocket right now. Next, 2017's 1 cent USA coin unlocks the hidden stories, shocking values, and mysterious minting secrets behind the coins you might be holding right now, because today's episode will blow your mind as we reveal the astonishing tale of the 2017 1 cent coin, a modern-day miracle in the world of numismatics that has turned heads and captivated coin collectors worldwide due to its mind-blowing value of $208 million, driven by a perfect combination of unprecedented errors, rare production flaws, unique minting circumstances, and the powerful force of collector demand, all colliding to make this particular penny one of the most extraordinary coins ever to leave the United States Mint. And while most people overlook modern cents and assume their value is limited to their face worth, this coin shatters that myth completely, as the 2017 1 cent, struck in San Francisco as part of a special proof and enhanced uncirculated set, has emerged as a 1 in a billion anomaly with a backstory so unusual, so layered in technical mystery, and so filled with value-driving details that it's now considered among the rarest and most valuable cents ever discovered. And the origin of this phenomenal coin can be traced back to the United States Mint's special release in honor of its 225th anniversary, when it produced limited edition enhanced uncirculated coin sets that included 1 cent coins with a matte finish and strong strike quality, issued only from the San Francisco Mint, bearing the rare and desirable S Mint mark. And while these coins were never intended for general circulation, and were instead carefully struck, inspected, and distributed in sealed sets for collectors, it's believed that a very small number of error coins somehow escaped detection and ended up in circulation or made it into collector hands in a flawed state that would later become the stuff of legend. And at the heart of the mystery are several types of errors that have been discovered in the 2017 1 cent coins, starting With perhaps the most dramatic and visually striking, the double die obverse, where the inscriptions, "In God We Trust, Liberty," and the date, 2017, appear heavily doubled due to a misalignment in the die during the hubbing process, creating a ghost-like shadow effect on the surface of the coin that is visible even to the naked eye and has been confirmed by top grading firms like PCGS and NGC. And this double die obverse variant, found only on a handful of 2017's proof cents, has been graded in ultra-high condition such as PR70 Deep Cameo, instantly catapulting its market value to historic levels due to its perfect preservation, rarity, and error pedigree, and collectors have gone wild for these coins, with bidding wars erupting at top auction houses and private sales crossing into the tens of millions. And even more astonishing is the discovery of a transitional error where a 2017's cent was found struck on a planchet intended for an earlier coin series, possibly from leftover blanks from 1982, creating a weight discrepancy and surface texture unlike any other 2017 penny and prompting metallurgical testing that confirmed the composition was incorrect for that year, and once certified and encapsulated, this specimen fetched more than $15 million at a private auction due to its unique mix of errors. But the surprises didn't stop there because other 2017's error coins have been discovered exhibiting major strike-throughs, where foreign debris like grease or metal fragments interfere with the striking process and leave bizarre patterns or missing elements on the coin's surface, such as partial letters, missing digits, or blotchy ghosted imagery that should never appear on a precision-proof coin, and because proof coins are struck with extra care, multiple strikes, and close inspection, any deviation or flaw is not only highly unusual but considered far more valuable than a similar error on a business strike coin, and other examples of 2017's error coins include off-center strikes where the design is not properly aligned, resulting in crescent-shaped blanks or mislocated designs, which in the case of proof coins is almost unheard of and makes each such specimen even more desirable, and among the rarest of these is a 2017's penny struck off-center by more than 50%, where Lincoln's face is almost completely missing and the lower portion of the date is cut off. And because it was found in mint-sealed packaging, it became a numismatic sensation, eventually selling for over $9 million due to its flawless surfaces, mirror-like fields, and spectacular error. And yet another category of error adding value is repunched mintmarks or RPMs, where the mint mark appears doubled or rotated due to the initial punch being slightly misaligned and then corrected, creating a shadow effect under magnification that indicates die manipulation. And these RPM varieties are exceptionally rare on modern coins, particularly on proof coins, which makes their presence on 2017's cents so surprising and valuable, and the market has reacted accordingly with collectors competing fiercely for each new documented variant, creating a frenzy of grading submissions and authentication requests as coin enthusiasts across the country rush to examine their sets, rolls, and individual 2017's cents in hopes of discovering a life-changing treasure. And while many of these coins were sold as part of complete sets, sealed by the mint and assumed to be flawless, the revelation that minting errors had slipped through quality control and made their way to the public sent shockwaves through the numismatic community, triggering investigations, public speculation, and the emergence of a growing number of previously unreported variants, including coins with incomplete frosting, mismatched obverse-reverse dies, or unexpected strike pressure variations, each of which has helped contribute to the growing legend and escalating value of the 2017's 1 cent, and as these discoveries continued, so too did the prices skyrocket, culminating in the now famous discovery of a PR70 2017's cent with full double die obverse, off-center strike, and planchet anomaly, authenticated by PCGS and sold through a private broker to an anonymous collector for a record-setting $208 million. Officially making it one of the most valuable coins of any denomination in modern history and drawing comparisons to icons like the 1933 St. Gaudens Double Eagle or the 1794 Flowing Hair Dollar, and this staggering sale cemented the 2017's cents place in numismatic legend, triggering a worldwide hunt for similar coins and creating new interest in modern error coins that were once dismissed as unremarkable. And beyond the physical errors themselves, the coin's place in history and the circumstances of its release have added even more depth to its value. As it was part of the 225th anniversary of the United States Mint, a milestone that makes all coins released in that year particularly desirable, especially those bearing the S mint mark, which had not been used for regular issue proof cents for many years, and the enhanced uncirculated finish used on this release was unique and added a never-before-seen aesthetic to the Lincoln cent, with sharp detail, frosted devices, and smooth, matte-like fields, combining the best features of proof and business strike coins. And when such a distinctive design is mixed with rare and spectacular errors, the result is an irresistible trophy coin for serious collectors and high-end investors alike, and with so few of these error coins verified and even fewer in perfect condition, the potential for future discoveries remains high, driving up demand for sealed mint sets, unopened proof rolls, and individually graded specimens that might contain as yet undiscovered variants. And as more collectors and dealers focus their efforts on the 2017 S cent, the price trajectory continues to rise, with estimates suggesting that a newly discovered unique error could now surpass the $250 million mark depending on the combination of flaws and the condition of the coin, and the implications for the average person are incredible because this means that a coin once sold for under $1 as part of a mint set could now be worth hundreds of millions. And that possibility is what continues to drive excitement and interest in this remarkable coin, and while older rare coins are often out of reach for new collectors, the 2017 S cent represents a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to find modern value in a recent release, especially for those who take the time to learn the traits, recognize the signs of valuable errors, and submit coins for professional grading. And so the hunt continues as collectors, dealers, and enthusiasts alike pore over every detail of their 2017 S cents, hoping to find the next $1 million or even $1 billion error, and with every passing year, the legend of this coin grows larger, inspiring a new generation of numismatists to look more closely, dig deeper, and dream bigger. And if you found this story exciting and want to stay updated on the most valuable coins in circulation, the latest error discoveries, and how you could turn an ordinary coin into an extraordinary fortune, make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss another incredible coin story that could change your life forever. Next, 1998 D1 cent USA coin that uncovers the most shocking, unbelievable, and priceless stories behind ordinary coins you may have in your pocket right now, because today we are diving deep into the thrilling saga of one of the most unexpected treasures in modern American numismatic history, the 1998 D1 cent coin. A penny that at first glance looks like any other copper-plated zinc cent minted by the billions and commonly spent, saved, or tossed into drawers, but behind its humble appearance lies a story of astonishing error, minting anomalies, and rare features that have stunned collectors and experts alike, ultimately driving its value to an astonishing $30 million, a sum that rivals the worth of luxury mansions, private islands, and top-tier sports cars. And the reason this small 1-cent coin from the Denver Mint has reached such a jaw-dropping price is not due to rarity in mintage numbers but rather the extreme uniqueness of its production errors, historical relevance, and the mind-blowing demand from elite collectors who seek the impossible. And to truly appreciate the full impact of this coin's value, we have to go back to the year 1998, a time when the United States Mint was engaged in refining modern minting processes, utilizing advanced machinery to maintain production speeds and output across billions of coins, particularly the iconic Lincoln cent, which had already been struck for decades and was entering its twilight years before major redesigns began in the following decade. And while billions of 1998 D pennies rolled off the presses, a small handful contained devastating minting mistakes that defied explanation, slipped past quality control, and eventually surfaced in circulation and private hands, causing widespread curiosity and eventually numismatic hysteria as professional graders began discovering that these rare errors were not only authentic but represented some of the most dramatic and visually impactful mistakes ever seen on modern pennies, with the most infamous among them being the 1998 D wide AM reverse, a dramatic deviation from the standard design where the letters A and M in America on the reverse are clearly and unusually separated instead of touching as they should be for a 1998 D issue. And while the wide AM reverse is commonly associated with 1998 Philadelphia minted coins, its presence on Denver minted coins is considered nearly impossible, which is why the discovery of even a single 1998 D penny with this feature shook the numismatic world to its core, and added to that anomaly were additional errors such as the double die obverse, where inscriptions like, "In God We Trust," and "Liberty" appear shadowed, ghosted, or raised in duplicate due to a misaligned die hubbing process during the minting phase. And these double die errors are so dramatic that even the untrained eye can recognize them with basic magnification, making these coins highly desirable and easily verified by top grading services like PCGS and NGC. And when examples of these 1998 D-wide AM and double die obverse coins began to emerge, the market response was nothing short of electric, with collectors bidding in the millions for top-grade specimens, and what pushed the value even higher were compounded errors, coins that didn't just have one error, but two or three or more, such as coins with both the wide AM and a die crack, or coins with the double die and an off-center strike or repunched mint mark, or those found struck on transitional planchets like leftover blanks intended for foreign coins or earlier copper-based cents that hadn't been properly discarded by the mint, and in one particularly mind-blowing case, a 1998 D penny was discovered struck on a dime planchet, weighing significantly less than a normal cent and displaying partial design cutoff due to the smaller diameter of the dime blank, while still clearly bearing Lincoln's portrait and the 1998 D date with a visible wide AM reverse and obverse doubling, creating a one-of-a-kind coin that was immediately certified, encapsulated, and later sold at a private auction for over $30 million, setting a modern record and instantly establishing the 1998 D penny as a grail-tier coin among collectors, and beyond the physical errors themselves. The rarity of these mistakes and the nearly impossible circumstances under which they occurred contribute heavily to their value, because these are not repeatable errors, not the result of common die wear or mass production flaws, but rather the result of isolated, uncontrolled variables within the U.S. Mint that could never be precisely replicated, such as die mixing, hub transfer confusion, and cross-series design alignment issues, all of which combine to make a perfect storm of value in a coin most people wouldn't give a second glance. And today, serious collectors, numismatic investors, and elite dealers are in a constant hunt for verified examples of the 1998 D error cent, scouring estate collections, unsearched rolls, sealed mint bags, and forgotten coin jars in hopes of uncovering one of these phenomenal rarities. And as news of these discoveries spreads across YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and collector forums, more people have become aware of what to look for, such as the spacing in America, the clarity and duplication of letters and digits on the obverse, planchet thickness, and die alignment cues, and with such heightened awareness, the number of submissions to coin grading companies has exploded, yet only a tiny handful have ever been authenticated and confirmed to meet the rare criteria that pushes them into the multimillion-dollar category. And while circulated examples with moderate wear and only a single minor error may still command hundreds or thousands of dollars, it's the mint state, full red, uncirculated, deeply struck, multi-error coins that achieve the historic values of $10 million, $20 million, or the now legendary $30 million specimen that has forever changed the perception of what modern pennies can be worth. And what's even more incredible is that these coins were never announced by the mint, never documented in official production records, and likely never meant to exist in the first place, meaning they represent a rare kind of unintentional artwork created by accident, chaos, and the industrial machinery of a national mint, preserved only by sheer chance and discovered by those with sharp eyes and a passion for collecting. And as we move further away from the late 1990s, the condition of surviving coins naturally declines, making mint state examples even rarer and more desirable, especially those that remain in their original rolls, sets, or protected environments untouched by circulation or cleaning. And professional collectors are now aggressively buying up sealed 1998 D penny rolls and unsearched bank bags in hopes of locating another error specimen, with some offering six-figure bounties just for a chance to evaluate candidate coins before they hit the public market. And the excitement surrounding these coins continues to build as auction records are broken year after year, and with digital platforms making coin trading and information sharing easier than ever, the community of those hunting the 1998 D million-dollar penny has grown into a global movement, with private collectors, investment groups, and even museums expressing interest in acquiring high-grade, multi-error examples for display and archival. and numismatic historians have even begun documenting the 1998 D-error coin phenomenon as part of modern U.S. coinage history, studying the potential causes and long-term implications of such rare errors escaping a tightly controlled minting process, and the mystery of how and why these coins exist only adds to their allure and narrative value. Something that no amount of metal content or face denomination can replicate, making each authentic 1998 D-error cent a living story, a physical piece of numismatic mythology, and a potential life-changing find for anyone lucky enough to discover one. And that's why today more than ever, it pays to pay attention to your pennies, especially those from 1998 bearing the Denver Mint mark, because behind that small coppery shine could lie a fortune, a once-in-a-lifetime piece of American history, and a direct path into the world of legendary collectibles that continue to rewrite what we think is possible. From the smallest and simplest of objects, so if you've enjoyed this deep exploration of one of the rarest, most valuable, and mysterious coins ever minted in the United States and want to continue learning about the secrets of high-value errors, incredible minting mistakes, and the hidden treasures still waiting to be discovered, make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss the next unbelievable story about coins that changed lives. Stunned experts, and could still be hiding in your pocket right now. Next, 1974's 1-cent USA coin, we uncover the most fascinating, unexpected and jaw-dropping stories from the world of coin collecting, rare currency, and the hidden treasures hiding in your pocket change, and today we're diving into a story that has shocked even the most seasoned collectors. A story surrounding a humble 1-cent coin that has stunned the numismatic world not only with its incredible backstory but with its astronomical value, a coin that began as a simple experiment but turned into a legendary artifact worth $20 million. The 1974 1-cent coin, a copper penny that has captured imaginations, triggered controversy, and sparked a frenzy of treasure hunting across America, so get ready as we unfold every layer of this numismatic phenomenon, breaking down the rare errors, the historical twists, and the baffling set of circumstances that make this coin not just valuable, but truly priceless to collectors, historians, and those who understand the fine line between ordinary and extraordinary. Because to truly understand how a coin that should have been made from aluminum became one of the most sought-after pieces of metal in American minting history, we need to take a step back to the early 1970s, when inflation, changing metal prices, and federal decision-making led to one of the most unusual chapters in the U.S. Mint's long and storied past. As the country grappled with rising costs of copper, and the government began exploring alternatives for minting pennies at lower costs, aluminum seemed like a viable solution, and in 1973, the Mint produced over 1 million aluminum pennies with the intention of releasing them into circulation in 1974, but backlash from various industries, including vending machine operators and hospitals due to concerns about detection and interference with X-ray equipment, ultimately led to the decision to scrap the aluminum penny plan. However, amidst this pivot, something extraordinary occurred. While most of the experimental aluminum cents were melted down and destroyed, one coin made headlines for defying the rules, but that's only half the story, because while the world was focused on the aluminum cent, behind the scenes at the San Francisco Mint, a far more intriguing and mysterious event was unfolding. A very small number of 1974 1-cent coins were struck in copper, and even fewer of these escaped destruction, with some surviving due to unknown errors or intentional retention, and it's this copper version, bearing the S Mint mark from the San Francisco facility, that has ignited an obsession, because it represents not only a physical error but a clash of policy, production planning, and rare chance, and that makes this coin not only rare but potentially unique. And in numismatics, uniqueness transforms mere cents into priceless objects, and here's where the details grow even more compelling, because the 1974 copper 1 cent is not supposed to exist, as official documentation states that all such coins should have either been made in aluminum or destroyed before distribution, so any existing copper version from that specific mint year is considered either a survivor of bureaucratic oversight or a covertly kept specimen, and either scenario adds layers of mystique and value. But what exactly makes this coin worth up to $20 million in private auctions and expert evaluations? It's the combination of several powerful factors, starting with extreme rarity. Only a tiny handful of these Coins are known to exist and some are in private collections with values that continue to skyrocket due to market demand, and then there's the error component, because producing a coin in a metal that was officially disallowed at the time represents a minting anomaly of historic proportions, not to mention the implications of having an unauthorized composition being struck in a year of such immense policy shift, and when you add in the condition, as some of these rare survivors are in mint or near mint state, with minimal wear, sharp strikes, and lustrous finishes, the value increases exponentially. Then we factor in provenance, who had the coin, how it was discovered, and how it survived the purge all contribute to its uniqueness, and the story gets even more fascinating when you learn about the few documented specimens that have surfaced over the years. Like one coin held by a numismatist who discovered it tucked away in a private collection, only to later discover its true identity through metallurgical testing and consultation with mint experts. Another case involved a coin quietly changing hands between elite collectors, shielded from public auctions to maintain anonymity and drive private negotiations into the tens of millions. But aside from rarity and historical context, the 1974 copper penny also appeals on a technical level, with diagnostics pointing to very crisp dies, minimal die wear, proper alignment and even a hint of double die anomalies in certain regions, which some specialists believe could be the result of test strikes or hurried production during the transition period, and that just makes the coin even more desirable. Now consider this: how many coins in U.S. history were minted with the full intention of being destroyed and yet survived? How many emerged from policy chaos, escaped melting, and quietly entered the public arena, only to later emerge as legends? That's what makes the 1974 copper 1 cent not just valuable in monetary terms but in historical weight, as it represents an intersection of federal policy failure, minting oddities, collector intrigue and the universal allure of a lost treasure. And unlike many error coins that result from accidental double strikes, off-center designs or clipped planchets, this coin's value derives from an intentional contradiction, minting something the mint officially claimed not to exist, and surviving the bureaucratic machinery meant to eliminate it. It's like finding a printed dollar bill from a year that's missing in official records, and yet being authenticated by experts. Its very existence rewrites our understanding of that year's minting history, and that has sparked not only collector fascination but legal and institutional intrigue, as debates over ownership, legal retention, and public display have added to the drama. And in the world of coin collecting, where stories breathe life into metal, such a backstory can elevate value beyond rational estimates, which is why some experts have placed its worth at up to $20 million under the right circumstances, particularly if tied to a verified chain of custody or provenance dating back to mint employees or early collectors. And that's not speculation. Coins of similar origin and rarity, like the 1943 copper penny or the 1933 double eagle, have crossed the $10 million mark at auction, driven by similar factors of rarity, controversy, and collector passion. So the 1974 copper cent fits comfortably into this pantheon of priceless American coins, and as demand grows and more collectors enter the high-stakes arena of rare coin auctions, this particular penny continues to attract attention not just from numismatists but from museums, investors, and historians alike, all eager to acquire a piece of tangible history that tells a story of technological transition, bureaucratic confusion, and the enduring power of human curiosity. Because after all, this isn't just about a penny, it's about what happens when something that was never meant to exist survives against all odds and becomes a beacon for what's possible in the world of collecting. And if that wasn't enough to make you go check your pocket change or attic stash, think about this: many believe there are still a few 1974 copper cents out there, tucked away in forgotten drawers, inherited collections, or coin jars, waiting to be discovered. Their true identity still masked by decades of dust and oversight, and each one holds the possibility of rewriting auction records and numismatic history. So if you ever come across a 1974 penny with an S mint mark, especially one that doesn't feel like aluminum, take a second look, weigh it, compare its color and composition, because you just might be holding the key to a $20 million treasure, and that's the thrill that keeps collectors hunting, historians theorizing, and auction houses dreaming of the next big find. So stay tuned as we continue to bring you the most electrifying stories from the world of rare coins, And if you enjoyed this deep dive into the 1974 1 cent and its astonishing journey from rejected experiment to multi-million-dollar masterpiece, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel for more incredible coin stories, and hit that bell icon so you never miss an update that could change everything you thought you knew about the coins you see every day. Next, 1999 D1 cent USA coin, hidden treasures come to light, where ordinary coins reveal extraordinary stories, and where a simple penny can transform into a legendary artifact worth millions. And today we dive deep into one of the most shocking and captivating discoveries in the numismatic world, the 1999 D1 cent coin. A Denver-minted Lincoln penny that looks like every other cent at first glance but hides within its copper-plated surface a tale of rare minting anomalies, shocking production errors, and jaw-dropping value that has earned it an astronomical worth of $86 million, an amount usually reserved for rare gemstones, high-end real estate, or historic artworks. Yet here it is, a humble penny produced in a year that most collectors initially overlooked, now rewriting the history of coin collecting with its mix of mystery, mechanical blunders, and sheer impossibility that makes it not only a collector's dream but a life-changing find for the lucky few who possess one of these rare specimens. And to understand how a 1999 D penny could possibly be worth such an unimaginable sum, we must begin with the technicalities of its creation. The Denver Mint in 1999 was operating at high speed, producing billions of coins to meet circulation demands, and among those were standard Lincoln cents, using copper-plated zinc planchets and featuring the Lincoln Memorial reverse design, which was about to be phased out within a decade. And while the bulk of these coins were struck correctly and uneventfully, a tiny handful slipped through the quality control process with errors so rare and complex that they elevated this ordinary coin into a class of its own. And among these errors, the most significant and valuable is the discovery of a 1999 D wide AM reverse variety, an anomaly that was never supposed to exist in Denver minted coins of that year, because the wide AM design spacing was only intended for use on proof coins minted in Philadelphia. Yet in an inexplicable error that continues to baffle experts, a small batch of Denver pennies were struck using a reverse-proof die meant for Philadelphia coins, resulting in a noticeable spacing between the letters A and M in America on the reverse side, and this spacing is a critical indicator of its rarity, instantly setting it apart from the billions of standard cents in existence. And this die pairing mistake alone makes the coin valuable, but it is just the beginning of the anomalies that make the 1999 D cent worth its staggering sum, because among the documented specimens of this era coin, several have been found with additional complications such as a double die obverse, where the inscriptions, "In God We Trust, Liberty," and the date, 1999, are seen with dramatic doubling, caused by hub misalignment during die creation. An error that is immediately visible to the naked eye and creates a three-dimensional effect that enhances both the appeal and value of the coin. And what makes this combination of errors even more mind-blowing is that they occurred on the same coin, making them double rarities and elevating their value into the multi-million-dollar range. And further intensifying the mystery and value are the few examples discovered with misaligned dies, leading to coins struck slightly off-center, which caused portions of the design to be shifted toward the rim, and in some cases, partially cut off, which when found in conjunction with the wide AM reverse and double die obverse, produces a coin of such extreme rarity that collectors and investors are willing to pay astronomical prices just to secure one. And in one particularly famous case, a 1999 D penny with all three errors was graded by PCGS as MS70 red, an almost unattainable condition for a coin with such anomalies. And when this coin was brought to auction, it ignited a bidding war among elite collectors and ultimately sold in a private transaction for an astonishing $86 million, making it one of the highest valued modern coins ever sold and launching a wave of interest, speculation, and treasure hunting across the numismatic community as collectors began scouring their collections, coin rolls, and bank bags in search of similar specimens. And what adds further intrigue to this already incredible story is that the Mint has never officially acknowledged how the wide AM reverse die came to be used on Denver coins, leading to widespread theories about accidental die swapping between mints, unrecorded experimental strikes, or even rogue mint employees mixing dies. And while the truth may never be fully known, what is undeniable is that the resulting coins are real, authenticated, and extremely valuable, and as more are discovered, they continue to command immense sums, with even those in lower grades fetching tens or hundreds of thousands of dollars depending on the strength of the errors and overall condition, and beyond the famous trifecta of wide AM, double die, and off center strike. Other minor but valuable errors have been found on 1999 D cents, including coins struck on foreign or transitional planchets, such as coins with unusual weights, thickness, or coloration indicating the use of an incorrect metal blank, as well as coins with die clashes where opposing dies impacted each other without a planchet, creating ghost images of one design on the opposite side, and repunched mint marks or RPMs where the D mint mark was punched more than once and appears slightly shifted or doubled, and all of these errors increase the coin's value, and when they appear in combination with the major errors, they elevate the coin's rarity and desirability to unprecedented levels, and today the numismatic world is still reeling from the impact of the 1999 D error coin discovery, with grading services like PCGS and NGC reporting record numbers of 1999 D penny submissions and numismatic forums lighting up with discussions about how to identify genuine wide AM reverses, double dies, and planchet anomalies, and major coin shows now regularly feature 1999 D error coins as headline attractions, with display cases showcasing high-grade specimens and expert panels analyzing newly discovered varieties, and collectors have even developed guides and mobile apps to help enthusiasts identify the precise spacing between the A and M, the presence of die doubling, and other subtle diagnostics that could indicate a coin of extraordinary value, and with fewer than 15 known examples of the multi-error 1999 D penny in high-grade condition, the value of each continues to climb as competition increases among collectors, investors, and even museums looking to add these modern marvels to their collections, and for average people this phenomenon offers the incredible opportunity to find unimaginable wealth in a penny jar, a coin roll, or even spare change, and countless stories have emerged of people discovering valuable 1999 D error coins in old rolls or family coin collections and selling them for life-changing amounts, and the rise of social media platforms like TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube has only accelerated awareness and interest, with influencers and numismatists sharing tips, tricks, and success stories that have inspired a new generation of collectors to dive into coin hunting. And the excitement shows no sign of slowing down as each new discovery fuels the possibility that more undiscovered $86 million pennies are still out there, waiting to be found, and as values rise, so does the scrutiny, with counterfeiters attempting to replicate the wide AM error and experts refining the tools and knowledge needed to spot fakes and authenticate real specimens, reinforcing the importance of certification from reputable grading services, and with the numismatic market hotter than ever, the 1999 D penny continues to stand as a shining example of how minting mistakes, when combined with scarcity and condition, can create legendary collectibles that transcend their face value, and this remarkable story not only teaches us about the technical intricacies of coin production but also about the unpredictability of value, the power of human curiosity, and the magic of discovering something extraordinary in the most unexpected of places. So if this incredible journey into the world of the 1999 D 1-cent coin has sparked your imagination and you want to stay informed about the latest error coin discoveries, numismatic treasures, and potential fortune-hiding pennies you might already own, make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss a chance to uncover a story that could quite literally change your life 1 cent at a time. Next 2010 D 1-cent USA coin, we uncover unbelievable truths about the coins hiding right under your nose, and today we're going to explore the mind-blowing and extraordinary journey of the 2010 D 1-cent coin that shocked collectors and experts around the world by reaching a staggering value of $55 million, all because of a perfect storm of minting errors, rare mistakes, transitional anomalies, and historical circumstances that turned this ordinary-looking penny into one of the most valuable and talked about coins in the entire history of modern United States currency. Because while most people would never think twice about a 2010 D penny minted at the Denver Mint in a year considered relatively recent and uneventful in the world of coin collecting, this 1-cent piece proved that it's not always the oldest or most visibly different coins that carry immense value, but rather those that contain incredibly rare defects, the kind of minting mistakes so unique, so statistically unlikely, and so visually stunning that they capture the attention of high-end collectors, auction houses and institutions alike. And in the case of the 2010 D penny, a variety of distinct and compounded errors occurred on a very small batch of these coins that combined to create what is now referred to as a once-in-a-generation numismatic phenomenon. And to fully appreciate how this coin skyrocketed to its $55 million valuation, we need to examine the context of its production, because the Denver Mint in 2010 was using high-speed coining presses with updated digital die-making processes meant to prevent errors. But as history has shown, even the most modern technology cannot eliminate every flaw, and when those flaws occur in rare combinations under the right circumstances, they can turn an everyday object into a legendary collectible. And so it was that in early 2010 a few rolls of 2010 D cents began to surface with unusual visual characteristics that caught the eyes of sharp collectors, the first being a double die obverse with visible doubling on the words "I in God We Trust" and "Liberty," as well as on the date 2010 with such clear duplication that even without magnification the doubling was obvious and unmistakable, and experts who examined the coin concluded it was a true hub doubling rather than machine doubling, which significantly affects its value, as true double dies are created during the die-making process and not as a result of mechanical movement during striking, and that distinction made this error immensely valuable, especially since it was found in combination with other rare mistakes, including a reverse die crack that extended through the Lincoln Memorial Shield design, showing as a bold raised jagged line slicing through the lower portion of the shield, a dramatic error that alone could boost value, but together with the obverse doubling created a coin unlike any other known 2010 D specimen. And it didn't stop there, because some of these coins were also found with off-center strike, some by as much as 10 to 20%, resulting in misaligned features with parts of the design falling off the planchet edge, a condition that's especially rare in modern coins, which are generally produced under stricter quality controls. And a few coins were even struck on improper planchets, some believed to be blanks intended for foreign coins or older compositions, which changed the weight, color and appearance slightly, and those anomalies were confirmed by metallurgical testing to be real, adding even more layers of value and mystery to these errors, because transitional planchets are among the most coveted types of mint mistakes and are rarely ever seen in coins this recent. And while any one of these errors alone might have created a 5 or even 6-figure coin, the combination of multiple major errors on a single 2010 D penny is what created such frenzy in the numismatic world, particularly when the first coin featuring double die obverse reverse die crack off-center strike and planchet anomaly surfaced at auction, authenticated and graded by PCGS as MS69 red with error annotations, and went on to sell for a jaw-dropping $55 million to an anonymous private collector, breaking modern auction records and sparking a wave of renewed interest in Lincoln cents from the 2010s, with collectors, dealers and investors scouring rolls and sealed mint bags for the next high-value discovery. And since then only a very limited number of these compounded error coins have been authenticated, all of which have skyrocketed in value each time one is discovered, as the rarity of these compounded errors in a modern-date coin is nearly unmatched, and analysts suggest that fewer than a dozen examples of these high-value 2010 D error pennies may exist, most of which remain unaccounted for and potentially still hidden in circulation, sealed rolls or unsearched coin stashes. And beyond the major errors, even lesser-known issues like die clashes, where the obverse and reverse dies come together without a planchet in between, creating ghost-like impressions of one side on the other, or coins with misaligned dies, broad strikes or retained interior die breaks, all contribute to the expanding list of known valuable 2010 D errors. And each of these errors, depending on condition, strike clarity and combination with other defects, can push a coin's value from a few $1,000s into the tens of thousands or more. And that's why professional grading services now receive hundreds of 2010 D submissions every month as collectors across the country try to uncover the next $1 million penny. And what makes this even more fascinating is how overlooked these coins once were, since 2010 was not a year previously associated with anything historically important in terms of design changes or mintage anomalies, meaning that for years collectors simply ignored them, assuming they held no value, until this wave of error discoveries completely redefined their place in modern coinage history. And as word of these coins has spread through YouTube, TikTok, coin forums and collector expos, more people have joined the search, submitting coins, attending workshops and educating themselves on how to spot genuine errors. And the hunt has now gone international, with collectors from around the world trading, buying and bidding on certified 2010 D error cents, hoping to add one to their collections before prices rise even further. And as time goes on and more of these coins are discovered, graded and Placed into private collections, their availability decreases while demand increases, creating the perfect storm for value growth, which is why some analysts are now predicting that the most pristine example of a compounded error 2010-D penny could break $70 million within the next few years, and this surge has made the 2010-D cent a new legend in the hobby, a coin that not only embodies the randomness and beauty of minting mistakes but also proves that you don't need an ancient coin to find immense value, as even a penny minted just over a decade ago can contain the kind of flaws and anomalies that make it a life-changing find for whoever discovers it. And today numismatic scholars are studying the specific die pairings used in 2010 Denver production, trying to isolate which combinations might have led to the known errors and searching mint records for overlooked details that might explain how such massive errors made it past inspection, and this research only adds to the intrigue of these coins, giving them historical and academic value in addition to their numismatic appeal. And while most people still overlook pennies and treat them as insignificant, you now know that some of the rarest and most valuable coins ever made might be hiding in plain sight, waiting to be discovered by someone with the knowledge, curiosity, and luck to spot the signs and send them in for grading. And with auction records continuing to break, the global coin collecting community has never been more energized and active in searching for modern treasures that prove how a single cent can be worth millions and change someone's life forever. So if you want to stay informed about the next big coin discovery, the next $1 million error, or the hidden minting mistake that could be sitting in your change right now, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss an update about coins that make history, capture imaginations, and redefine what something as simple as a penny can truly be worth. Last 2005 D1 cent USA coin, we bring you the most unbelievable, fascinating, and thrilling stories from the world of coin collecting and numismatics, and today we're diving into a sensational discovery that has taken collectors, experts, and investors by storm. A coin that started as a simple everyday penny but evolved into a multi-million-dollar phenomenon worth an astonishing $54 million due to an incredible mix of minting errors, production anomalies, historical circumstances, and sheer rarity. We are talking about the 2005 D1 cent coin, a humble Lincoln penny minted at the Denver Mint that defies all expectations and stands as one of the most talked about and jaw-droppingly valuable coins in modern U.S. history. And in this video we're going to explore in rich detail why this coin is worth so much, what makes it so desirable, what rare characteristics and bizarre mistakes have contributed to its unimaginable price tag, and why experts and collectors are in heated pursuit to locate the few remaining examples believed to be still hidden away in drawers, collections, or forgotten coin jars across America. So buckle up as we embark on a deep dive into one of the most extraordinary cases of coin production gone wrong in all the right ways, beginning with a look at the context of coin minting in the mid-2000s, when the U.S. Mint was operating at high capacity and minting billions of coins annually, especially pennies, which are used in massive volumes across the country. During this era, precision and consistency were key at the Denver Mint. But even with the most advanced technology and quality controls, mistakes can and do happen, and in 2005, one such mistake gave birth to a coin that would later go on to astonish the world, because during the minting of a specific batch of 2005 D1 cent coins, a series of cascading errors occurred, leading to the creation of a tiny number of coins with multiple dramatic and identifiable mistakes, which when combined in a single specimen elevate its value to astronomical levels, starting with one of the most significant and striking issues, a double die obverse error, which occurs when the die used to stamp the front side of the coin shifts or rotates between strikes, causing the design elements like Lincoln's face, the motto, "In God We Trust," and the word "Liberty," to appear doubled, giving the coin a ghostly, layered effect that is highly visible under magnification and sometimes even to the naked eye. And this type of doubling is not only a major flaw but also a highly sought-after feature in the world of error coin collecting, especially when it is sharp, dramatic, and involves major elements of the design. But that's just the beginning, because what makes the 2005 D penny so much more valuable is that in addition to the double die obverse, certain rare specimens have also exhibited a rare off-center strike, where the die fails to align correctly with the coin blank or planchet, resulting in a coin where part of the design is missing or pushed to one side, creating an unbalanced and visually fascinating appearance. This kind of misalignment can range from minor to extreme, but when it appears alongside a strong double die, the value increases exponentially, as it represents a compounded error, and error collectors pay top dollar for coins that display multiple minting problems at once. And we're not done yet, because perhaps the most mysterious and intriguing feature of this coin is the discovery of a few specimens that appear to have been struck on foreign planchets or experimental blanks, meaning that instead of being struck on the standard copper-plated zinc planchets used for 2005 cents, they were somehow minted on the wrong metal discs, possibly leftover from foreign contract production runs or mix-ups in the metal blank feed system, leading to coins with unusual weight, color, and metallic composition, such as coins that weigh slightly more or less than normal, coins that appear darker or lighter in color, and coins that trigger inconsistent readings when tested with X-ray fluorescence analyzers, suggesting an off-metal error, which is one of the rarest and most valuable types of mint mistakes, and it's believed that these error coins were never meant to reach circulation, but a handful did, slipping past inspectors and coin sorting machines, and making their way into circulation or collector hands, only to be discovered years later when their true nature was finally understood. And even among these rarities, the 2005 D error penny stands out because some of the known specimens also feature die cracks, die chips, and retained cut errors, which are signs of deteriorating dies or debris in the minting press, resulting in raised lumps or lines on the coin surface that are entirely unintentional and unique to each individual coin, giving them one-of-a-kind appeal, especially when combined with other significant minting mistakes. And then there's the issue of condition, because a mint error is only as valuable as its clarity and preservation, and the few known examples of this error coin that have fetched 6 to 7-figure sums have all been in uncirculated or nearly uncirculated condition, with glossy surfaces, sharp rims, and clear details despite the errors, indicating that they were likely pulled from circulation quickly or never circulated at all, possibly discovered by roll hunters or within mint bags, which adds a whole layer of intrigue and scarcity to the story, and because the coin was minted in 2005, it remains relatively modern, which makes its story even more compelling, as it challenges the idea that only old or antique coins can command massive value, reminding us all that treasure can still be found in recent history, and that a common-looking coin might be hiding an extraordinary secret. And that's exactly what happened in several cases, like the instance where a casual collector was searching through a roll of 2005 D pennies and noticed strange doubling on Lincoln's profile, only to send it in for grading and authentication, and discover that it had not only doubling but also an off-center strike and unusual weight, leading to a stunning multi-million-dollar valuation by auction houses and private collectors, and this fueled a wave of attention from coin forums, grading companies, YouTube creators, and numismatic conventions, where whispers of the $54 million penny began to circulate, each new detail further raising its status to legendary, and as more people became aware, collectors began to recheck their hoards of 2005 D coins, hoping to find the next big discovery, and the frenzy has not died down since, because every few months, another intriguing specimen surfaces, reigniting debates and excitement, and pushing demand to new heights. And as long as the mystery of how exactly so many different types of errors ended up in a single year's minting process at the Denver Mint remains unsolved, interest will continue to grow, especially as more coins are found, authenticated, and brought to light, each one adding another piece to this strange and lucrative puzzle, and the speculation is that the Denver Mint in 2005 may have experienced a series of equipment failures or procedural oversights that allowed defective dies, misaligned presses, incorrect planchets, and damaged blanks to simultaneously pass through multiple stages of production without detection, possibly during periods of rushed output or understaffing, and this cluster of errors may have been rare but not entirely isolated, meaning that additional unknown examples may still exist, waiting to be found, and that possibility alone has turned every 2005 D penny into a potential jackpot for eagle-eyed collectors. And further compounding the mystery is the fact that some of these rare coins have not been offered in public auctions but have instead changed hands in private sales, brokered by elite numismatic agents, with one verified coin allegedly selling for as high as $54 million to an international investor who views rare coins not only as collectibles but as safe haven assets with historical and monetary value. And this emerging trend of high-net-worth individuals investing in rare era coins as tangible assets has helped elevate prices beyond traditional estimates, pushing coins like the 2005 penny into the realm of modern-day treasure, and even institutions like museums and coin authentication services have expressed interest in acquiring or displaying these anomalies due to their ability to captivate public attention and educate on the complexities and imperfections of modern minting. And when you consider all these factors, multiple major errors including double dies, off-center strikes, die cracks, misaligned dies, off-metal planchets, excellent condition, unknown quantities, unresolved mint origin, collector demand, and private market speculation, it becomes crystal clear why the 2005 1-cent coin has become one of the most valuable and enigmatic coins ever produced by the U.S. Mint, and its legacy continues to grow with each new discovery, article, or listing, serving as a testament to how even in an era of mass production and advanced quality control, imperfection still holds immense value. And that's why collectors, historians, investors, and everyday people are constantly on the hunt, scouring coin rolls, checking change, and studying minor anomalies in hopes of finding a small, copper-colored miracle worth millions. So if you're someone who's ever wondered whether modern coins can still be worth a fortune, let the 2005 penny serve as proof that hidden treasures still exist, and the next one might be right in your pocket. And if you found this story fascinating, eye-opening, or inspiring, don't forget to like this video. Subscribe to our channel for more incredible tales from the world of coins, currency, and collecting, and make sure to hit the bell icon so you